needs to hear what real men are. I think there's there's masculinity.
But what are real men?
Right. To me, a real man is a responsible.
Oh, man, she pissing me off already. Well, what are real men? Shut up, you dumb chick. Let Dwayne, bro, finish his point.
Because every time a man does some fuck shit, they'll be like, that's not a real man. And it's like, looks like a man to me.
She's describing real men attributes of men that do effed up things in the world. So that's what she thinks a real man is. And she's speaking from trauma because she's been hurt. This is one of the times you say, who hurt you? Who hurt you, chick? Like, what's going on? This is just a regular conversation. And you cut Marlon off twice already.
I think a real man is in touch with his feminine side.
Looks like a duck and it walks like a duck. Yeah.
I think.
And once again, Chad, I'm pausing this one because I can see that there are multiple people speaking and she's cutting people off. Marlon said, well, a real man is someone that's in touch with his feminine side. Well, Marlon, I would say that you are 100% wrong. A real man, it is not an attribute for a real man to be in touch with his feminine side. Well, listen, you're not a real man if you're not in touch with your feminine side. That doesn't even make any sense. That is nonsensical. That's you trying to invert things because you've been in Hollywood for so long, so you were indoctrinated to believe that men need to have feminine attributes in order to be considered a real man. And the reason why you think this is because a lot of these jobs and these movie roles that you've took, you had to sell your manhood in order to get the job, like dressing in a dress for white chicks or doing these type of roles to get this money, right? You already sold your soul. You already gave your soul to the devil. So you think a real man is someone that puts on a dress, someone that is in touch with their feminine side, someone that knows the feminine nature. So you know you're a real man if you know the feminine nature. No, real men protect women is not to become a woman. Real men protect women, and they don't do this by becoming a woman. So correction for you, Marlon.
A real man is knows how to unstrap from his ego.
I don't know. I think the real man thing is just the thing like that people invented to like excuse bad behavior. You know?
Yeah. And let's psychoanalyze this real quick. So one, you have three people sitting here, three actors. I believe she's an actor or a model. He's an actor. And I'm a fan of Marlon as far as, a lot of his movie roles, fan of the Wayans brothers. Dude is a funny guy, but I'll be honest with you, man. You got to keep it no Fugazee. You were indoctrinated for sure. But look at the dynamic here. Every time she speaks, he becomes like basically less masculine. Like it's so funny, like what I'm observing here. Chat. I don't know if you're observing it too, but once he started speaking, she cut him off. He spoke again, she cut him off. Then he started speaking. This is the third time she cut him off. And now his body language is even conforming to like she's on top of the hierarchy.
Yeah, like all men are real men.
Said like a real man.
Period. Yeah, Say it how it is.
I think,
Okay, so you see that, right? And I knew something was up with the body language because he said like a real man, right? And he knows that he's basically annoyed right now because he's speaking, giving his perspective on what a real man is. She continues to interject and cut him off. The only thing that he's good at right now is going along to get along because that's a skill and a trait that he built in Hollywood because you have to go along to get along so you can get the funding to make these movies. So he's used to being in a position to go along to get along and conforming to women or conforming to the feminine ideology. This is why he even tapped her on the shoulder and said, he kind of laughed, but he really knows he's annoyed. It's pathetic almost. What we're watching here, this is the opposite of a real man.
I think being like, to further add on what she's saying, I think there's this false narrative of what.
So this isn't a real man already. He said to add on with what she's saying. A real man would have said to debunk what she just said. here's what a real man is. And here is why women shouldn't be speaking on what a real man is.
Real men do, and I think it's tied into, privilege and masculinity. And I think exploring that.
A real man is tied into privilege and masculinity. What privilege does a man have, young man? What privilege in society does a man have? Okay. Well, one can say we don't really have a privilege because we are conscripted to sign up for the draft for selective service. So then if we have to sign up for a selective service, or if not, we'll experience consequences. The people that do not have to sign up for a selective service and they don't have to experience any consequences if they don't, those people will be privileged, which is women. We say, well, in order for a man to reproduce or to be attractive to a woman, the man has a burden of performance, meaning that he needs to go out there and develop some skills, social skills, to become attractive to a woman. And he needs to develop finances and his body, and he needs to fully develop himself to be attractive to just one woman. Now, with that being said, does the woman need to develop anything to become attractive to just one man? So she has the ability to procreate, because that's what we're all put on the planet for, is to reproduce. The woman doesn't have to develop any attributes or any skills to become attracted to a man. The woman is born with the opposite sex being sexually attracted to her. So privilege, we would have to say that goes to women. To be fair, we would say that men are stronger from a general sense and women are physically weaker from a general sense, right? We would say, well, the privilege will go to strength on the man's side. That's what one would think, but not exactly, because we built this comfortable world with all of these modern day conveniences. Most of these all benefit the women. Men's labor, building and maintaining the infrastructure, the military to protect the women. All of these things all benefit women. Not only that, if the woman is walking on a street, someone tries to steal her purse, men would come and chase that man down. Or she calls the cops and a man would come and arrest that man. But if a man is walking down the street and someone steals his book bag, is a woman gonna come and chase that robber? No. If the man calls the police, is 2 women She-Hulk cops gonna come and chase that man? Probability? No, it's gonna be some men that's gonna be able to arrest that man. So even when you look at the biological differences and you say that, well, men are stronger and women are weaker, so since men are stronger, that's privilege for the men. Well, not exactly. I would say that it's still privilege for the women because they can't even protect themselves. They have someone else to protect them. Privilege. If I don't need to protect myself and I have someone else that's always going to be there to protect me, I would consider that to be privilege. Not the person that I have no other sex to protect me but my sex. This isn't privilege, right? If we're comparing the two, right? So what this young gentleman just said was dumb.
That in films is important because, we're raising these young boys to be men, and we can go that extra step to educate boys and on that journey of how to, tap into the femininity, the vulnerability. That way we can further protect women.
So you see, his mindset is all backwards. In order to protect women, men need to tap into their femininity and tap into being more vulnerable to protect women. So basically, men need to become like a woman in order to protect women. It's backwards thinking. What they are doing is creating an inversion. They are inverting things and causing confusion, right? And the Bible explains perfectly in end times, bad is no longer going to be bad. It's going to be good, and good is no longer going to be good. It's going to be bad. Right is going to be left. Up is going to be down. Things are going to fully change and be inverted. And that's what you see is happening. He said, listen, man, in order for a man to protect women, he needs to be vulnerable and he needs to be feminine in order to protect a woman so he understands. No, we understand. Masculine men understand that, well, no, if in order for me to protect my wife and my children, I don't need to adopt my wife's traits or my children's traits. I need to embody and embrace my masculine biological traits to protect my family. And by understanding this, the probability increases for your family to be protected and your society to be protected. But if you change that, well, the men are just going to be more feminine. and be more vulnerable and not have any courage to stand up to protect women. It's just stupid, man. It makes no sense. Hollywood needs some changing, right? And the crazy thing is, I like Marlon, man. Marlon is funny. He's a Wayne bro. He's a Wayne bro. In Living Color, like, he made so many good, dope, funny shows. Don't Be a Menace while smoking. Don't Be a Menace while drinking juice in the hood. Funny movie, right? Scary Movie, right? All of those was funny. I didn't like white chicks though. Always hated white chicks. I was just like, guys, it ain't really funny. I thought it was corny. And I think that was one of his biggest movies. But every other movie, it was dope. It was funny. So if you like that clip and you want to watch more, click right here. But if you want to watch the full episode, click right here.